Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, continuing on reviewing Halloweenish materials on the weekends. So that's right, you read the title, you know exactly what it is that I'm reviewing, and I mean, in the last review video, I didn't know how to describe it with words, so just, left you to, just see for yourselves, and, I'm sure some of you are like, oh, this, and yeah. And not to mention, this, particular, I should say, stop-motion show, if particular is the right word to say, but, overall, this, stop-motion, show that ran for 2 seasons, and, the fact that the running time of all the episodes just down to 3 minutes. Like, it's amazing. Well, and obviously, because I assume as though that some of these episodes, some of them were combined into one episode, like, say, 2 stories in one episode. That's understandable, and with some other animation shows doing that. So again, not to mention that this show is celebrating its anniversary. This stop-motion show, again, that ran for 2 seasons. That's right, guys. I am finally reviewing from 1984, The Trapdoor. Yes, 1984's The Trapdoor. It ran from 1984 to 1986. Only 2 seasons, and like I said, the episodes, and especially all of them, from season 1 to 2, they're out there on YouTube. You can go check them out. In fact, I actually watched all the episodes before I am now recording my review of this. So I gotta say, The Trapdoor is a pretty interesting piece of stop-motion animation, and obviously this comes from the UK, because of the voices of the characters, and, what the show is like. Has an interesting style, as it should, with any piece of stop-motion animation, with their own unique styles and looks. My first exposure to the Trapdoor, I remember years ago on YouTube, I had seen clips of this show, like, whether if it was like, say, YouTube poops or fan edits with clips of the show, just, that kind of stuff. I really didn't know what this was at first until I looked into it some more, and knowing the title of the show, knowing the characters, and it's a very interesting piece of stop motion, I should say. I think it's pretty good, and I'm pretty sure that I don't see why not. It does have its own fan base, I have no doubt, and I'm sure some of you that follow me know about this show and really enjoy it. One of you figured out what it was when I was teasing that I was going to review this. Not by words, but, with an image an image from the show, and that being the castle. So, yeah. But overall, The Trapdoor, it's a pretty interesting piece of stop-motion, a stop-motion animated show. Not many of those that you would see on TV, but yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so, as always, read the description / the story. Book, a blue plasticine creature, lives as a servant to the unseen thing upstairs, and how is explained in the intro, he's an overworked servant, for the thing upstairs. In an ancient castle, every time the trapdoor opens, a new adventure begins for Burke and his pals, the Skull, Boney, and a spider, Drut. I had a feeling that Drut was a spider, but yeah. And how spiders look in this, and that goes for any other creature and animal, but anyways. So getting into the show itself, because, 3 minutes of episodes. In fact, the very last episode of The Trapdoor is up to 4 minutes. I think that goes for, for both last episodes of seasons 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure. And the stories that The Trapdoor tells, every time something new happens for them that comes out beneath the trapdoor, whatever creature it is, it's very interesting, and just these creatures, sometimes they're known as things, and They don't have a specific name of what kind of creatures they are, but some of them do have names. So for the cast of characters, well, we have Burke, an overworked servant for the thing upstairs, as I said. There's Burke's skull friend, Boney, always, you know, just bored and nitpicking and stuff like that, and always a kind of like sometimes a chatterbox and such. And sometimes like his comments on what Burke does sometimes. And the thing upstairs, like there's one episode where we just see a little glimpse of the thing upstairs, and later on Boney commenting on the sight of the thing, you know, the master to Burke, and, you know, a horrific sight, you know, how the thing looks, you know. And they're all voiced by the late Willie Rushton. He voiced all three of those characters, and I'm pretty sure that he not only voiced those three, but he did a couple of other voices as well. And there's Drut, the spider, friend to Boney and Burke, just, you know, making weird, goofy sounds. And he was voiced by Nick Shipley. Yeah. And one of the creatures that lives down in the trapdoor sometimes would, you know, hang out with them and has a personality of his own named Rog. Yeah, Rog. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, he too was voiced by Willie Rushton. And, yeah, because, yeah, Rog. So, R-O-G-G. 2 G's. Yeah, that's how his name is said. So some of the creatures that have appeared on the trapdoor, you know, some of them do have names. Like, there's a live plant named Thort. There's the Kraken. There's, and some of them are kind of bad guys, kind of. Like, there's the big red thing, and there's also one troublemaking creature named Bubo, with a hole, and he's, you know, I think he sometimes turns invisible, I'm pretty sure. There's also the large spider, the ghoulies, the swamp creature. There's also the mother blob, and there's the little blob, the child to the mother blob, and there's the thingy, and there's the hooked beaked creature, and the sack creature, the yellow blobby worm, and one creature up above, like, there's also, yeah, wasps, the big yellow thing, and, yeah. So a bunch of interesting creatures that pop up, and, you know, each episode, like, and what goes on with the creatures from beneath the trap door, yeah. Yeah, just with what goes on in all the episodes, you know, some pretty interesting ones in how much story they tell, and because they're only, say, 3 minutes. Like, one episode is where, you know, sometimes, like, some episodes where Boney gets into a bit of trouble, a few episodes where some of the characters, mainly Boney and Burke, they would have dreams, you know, some episodes that have to do with Buno or Rog, or, you know, with what's going on with the thing upstairs, yeah, just a bunch of crazy things that happen, but at the same time, they're pretty good. Oh, and there's even one episode where it's like a little music video or something, where the, you know, full-length version of the Trapdoor theme song plays, where Burke gets out a radio. There's also one episode where Burke is trying to take a picture of him and the others, which, in the end, because chaos happens, it turned out to be a pretty good picture that was taken at the end of the episode. You know, and just a bunch of other crazy things that happen to the characters, like whatever some of the creatures do, from Buno to the thingy, and sometimes in, you know, creatures, like what goes on in, say, either Burke or Boney, in the dreams that they have, what the creatures do to the characters. Yeah. Even, you know, the last episode of Season 1 and Season 2, very interesting ones, because in the final episode of Season 1, Burke is just having so much trouble with everything that's going on. The trapdoor was open, the thing is calling down to Burke, and he can't take this anymore, and that's the final straw for him, and thus he decides to pack up and move away, and yeah, he's had it. And, well, you know, Boney, Rog, and Drut, yeah, they're gonna miss him, and it seems like, yeah, he is leaving, and, you know, with the credits rolling, but after the credits rolling, like, yeah, Burke does come back, and Boney had a feeling that he wouldn't be gone forever, and he would consider coming back, and thus he does. And in the very last episode of The Trapdoor, well, because, a very, like, sad moment, because, the Big Red Thing having a huge part, as well as Rog, because at one point, Rog, like, to describe Rog some more, he does have a personality of his own, and he's, like, one of the only few decent, harmless creatures from beneath the trapdoor, but at the same time, he's kind of dumb, yeah. But he's still lovable and nice and innocent. There's one moment where Rog is mad, and he walks off, and he leaves the castle. Berk, Boney, and Drut and the other creatures, they're worried about him. They go out to find him, and they see Rog coming face-to-face with the Big Red Thing, and then there's one moment where a fight happens between Rog and the Big Red Thing, and in the end, well, apparently, unfortunately, Rog lost to the Big Red Thing, and it's, at first, because when they check on him, he's not moving at all. They assume he's dead, and it seems as though it is, and, well, after that, the credits roll. But after the credits roll, we cut back seeing Berk and the others, they dug his grave and such, but out of nowhere, and however Rug did it, he's out of his grave, and no, he didn't die. And, well, all ends well. However, the way it ends, well, the Big Red Thing pops up and he terrorizes them. Yeah. I tell you, just an interesting show that this is, stop-motion show, I should say, with what goes on in each episode and with its stories. And sometimes some of the characters do break the fourth wall, interacting with us, the audience. But yeah, just overall, The Trapdoor, it's an interesting piece of stop-motion animation, and this being a stop-motion animated series, the fact that it didn't last that long, because, running from 1984 to 1986, and only having 2 seasons, I don't know. I mean, because this is stop-motion and such, and, I'll have to, I don't know, because probably that's what the creators of the show intended it, just to have 2 seasons, and with how much storytelling they could tell with this piece of stop-motion animation, yeah. But, just, it's still pretty good, even though it only had 2 seasons, and just with all the interesting-looking, designed creatures and stop-motion, with clay, of course, and, yeah, it was pretty interesting, and I would also think that, I don't see why not. Like, some bit of scariness that happens in some of these episodes, no doubt about it, and how, no doubt about it, how little kids felt when watching this show, and it's nice to see that there's a bit of behind-the-scenes out there online, and they've made, some of the behind-the-scenes has made its way to YouTube. I've watched some of it, and, yeah. Berk, I've got to say, is it me? And maybe some of you would think so too, how Berk almost kind of looks a little bit like, I don't know, just closely like, say, Cookie Monster. I don't know, because they're both blue, and with them having, like, big googly eyes, well, Berk's eyes are okay, but unlike Cookie, I'm just saying, And, just the characters are really good too, and one of Berk's catchphrases, oh, Globbits! That's pretty good. And it makes you wonder, with the thing upstairs, what does it really look like? Again, we only see a little glimpse of it. Yeah. There were a couple of times where the thing upstairs did eat some of the creatures beneath the trapdoor. Yeah. Like, I think, like, the big yellow thing, and also, like, there's one episode where, yeah, a noisy creature is lurking around, and Berk trying to stop it. Yeah. And, and again, to mention, like, the few episodes where where Berk and Boney, they have dreams, and what goes on in their dreams, pretty funny, yeah. But, yeah, just, overall, The Trapdoor itself, it's a pretty good, stop-motion animated series, and again, even though it only lasted for 2 seasons, still, It was pretty good. And if any of you are familiar with the trapdoor, if it's one of your favorite pieces of stop-motion animation, one of your favorite stop-motion animation shows, yeah. Like, right next to, say, Gumby, Bob the Builder, Rubber Dubbers, the list goes on, yeah. For me, I think the trapdoor is really good. A really good piece of a stop-motion, gotta slow down, stop-motion animated show, without a doubt. And I'm giving the trapdoor, why not, 10 out of 10 stars. Yes, 10 out of 10 stars for the trapdoor. And really, there has never been a stop-motion show like the trapdoor, with what this was like, its style and what the stories were telling, and with its characters and the designs and looks of these stop-motion clay figures, it's amazing. Yeah, there can never be another piece of stop motion like the trapdoor. So, what about you guys? What do you think of the trapdoor itself? Have any of you, knew about this piece of stop motion animation? Have you ever seen an episode of this? Like, as I said, all of them are out there on YouTube. Heck, one uploader put all the episodes together. 2 hours! 2 hours of all the episodes. That's crazy. And to think they're only 3 minutes. Well, by putting them all together, still, and again, is it one of your favorite pieces of stop-motion animation? One of your favorite stop-motion animated series? Which are some of your favorite characters? Were you at a young age, creeped out and such with some imagery and such that's in the trapdoor? Which are some of your favorite episodes? Favorite creatures beneath the trapdoor? Do you know the theme song to this? It's quite catchy, and this coming from the 80s, so yeah. And with what I've had to say, my review, and what did you think of my review? And overall, what do you think of the trapdoor itself altogether? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of The Trapdoor. More review videos are coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review, and more Halloweenish reviews on the way on the weekends. And happy anniversary to the trapdoor itself, 'cause there's something down there. Take care, and peace out. Oh, globbates!